Good morning, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Saturday, January the 6th, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 59. I would like to welcome everybody to my channel where the whips are real and the plans are fake. If you are new to my channel, I'd like to welcome you. This is a channel where I talk about all the cross stitch, all the things. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and commenting and all the things. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, but you know what? That's what happens in whip parade season. People see the craziness and they're like, what is that psycho doing? I want to see more. So welcome to all the new subscribers. Of course, welcome to all my old ones too. Before we get started with the whips, I would just like to reiterate my plans for the year again, because I've gotten a lot of comments and questions about them. Okay, so especially from some people who kind of saw towards the end of the year. So just to recap last year, and this is why I'm doing, so I got to kind of explain last year to explain what I'm doing this year. Last year, for my end of year 2022 whip parade, I had set a goal for every single project that I had, and I wanted to try to reach that goal. And some of those goals were extremely high, like tens of thousands of stitches. And I knew I wasn't going to hit them all if I was going to hit my other goals. So I wasn't really worried, stressing about that part. But I said some of my goals were really small, like finish this one section, do 500 stitches, blah, 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 right? Once I hit that goal last year on that whip, it went away until the end of, until 2024. And in the beginning, I was knocking goals out of the park. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting all these goals done. And then I was coming to the realization that I wouldn't touch those projects for an entire year, which made me sad because some of them I really, really wanted to work on. So what I decided to do for this year was, I wanted to be able to work on the projects throughout the year, but what I learned from the goal setting last year is that I need goals on these projects so that I have something to work towards, but I can put it away before I get frustrated with it and never want to see it again. Because that's how I am. That's why I have so many projects, because I start stitching on it and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored with this. And I move on to the next one and I never go back to it. So what I wanted to do for this year was I set higher goals with a shit ton of finishes planned. But I broke those really big goals down into smaller milestones that if I was able to work on the project, could most likely be achieved when I picked it up within 1 or 2 nights of stitching. And I have all my projects in categories. Some are in multiple categories. And I'll go over that stuff too, because someone had a question about that. I have them broken down into categories. If they're only in one category, hold on. I'm trying to think of how I want to word this so it makes sense. So once they hit that milestone, they will step back in that particular category until half of the milestones in that category, like say for example, my Christmas category. I have all my projects listed out for my Christmas themed pieces. Once half of those milestones are met, then when I complete a project for the Christmas category, it will go away for that category until half of those milestones are met. In my Christmas category, I have 57 pieces. So I'm going on the, of course, 57 divided by 2 is like 28 and a half. So I'm just doing 28. Once 28 milestones are met, all of those projects for that Christmas category are going back into the basket. If a project is in multiple categories, I can still pull it. Like if, say I have a project that's in Christmas, but it's also in my full coverage, I can still pull it out to work on it for the full coverage category. Once I pull it out for the full coverage category and I work on it, then it will go away until either half of the full coverage milestones are met or half of the Christmas milestones are met. Now, I am well aware, and like I said, this will make sense as you see all this stuff starting to play out. Now, I am well aware that there is no way on God's green earth that I am going to hit all of these goals. I know that. It's going to be physically impossible for me to get, I said I wanted to finish 135 pieces. It's not possible. I am aware of this. This isn't necessarily something that I want to have completed in 2024. This is just something for me so that I have the chance to work on, this is just something for me that I have the chance to work on a piece throughout the year, and I'm not going to work on it once in January and then not get to work on it again for another year. That's what I'm trying to avoid this year. So I have the high goals broken down into milestones so that I have a chance to pull it out throughout the year. Am I going to hit 50% of the milestones on all this stuff? I have no clue. I have no clue. I'm trying something new. I'm using what worked for me from 2023, which was the goal setting. I'm pulling that into 2024, and I'm adjusting it for 2024 so that I can try potentially to pull it out multiple times throughout the year so that I can get some progress on stuff more than 500 stitches a year. Because let's face it, at that rate, it would take me years. I would either have to work on the same like 100-something pieces for multiple years to get them done, or I'd have to not work on anything so I could focus on the other stuff to get it done. So we're going to see how this plays out this year. I will make more adjustments for 2025 and we'll see where we're at with that. Now, my categories. I have 12. What I did, somebody was asking me how many categories or how many projects do you have in each category? And someone else asked me, and maybe it was the same person, I don't remember now. Someone else asked me, how many milestones do you have all together? I counted it up. And this is actually going to change, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. But I made a little board. You know me and my boards. I made a little board that has all my categories on it. Full coverage, holiday, seasonal series, fancy like, Etsy, Christmas. Well, let me start over. Full coverage, I have 65 projects listed under it. So that's what the red number is for. When I hit 32 milestones, then all of my full coverage pieces will go back in the basket. Like all the ones that are listed under that category, they go back in the basket. Holiday, I have 26 projects. And of course, like I don't have this many, but that's how they're divvied up. And some projects are in multiple categories. Holiday, 26 projects listed under that category. When I hit 13 milestones, those will go back. Seasonal series, I have 90 because I have a lot of seasonal or series pieces. 90 projects listed under there. 45 goals need to be met for those to go back in the basket. Fancy like, I have 32 pieces. They are not all fancy ladies, so don't get excited. When 16 milestones are met, those go back in. Etsy, I have 34 projects in that category, so I need to hit 17 milestones for that one. Christmas, I have 57 projects, so 28 pieces need to be 28 milestones need to be met before those go back in the basket. Large kits, I have 49, so 24 milestones need to be met. Small kits, 40 projects, so 20 milestones need to be met. Gnomes, I only have 21. I thought I had a lot more. I think what it is I have patterns for gnomes that I have not started yet. I think that's why I thought I had so many. 10 milestones need to be met for that. Sampler-esque, 21 pieces in that category, so 10 milestones need to be met for that. Sal's, I have 28, so 14 milestones need to be met. And then other, which didn't really fit in anything, 15 projects listed under there. So I need to hit 7 milestones on that before they go back in. And then my milestones, this is why I'm saying I'm not going to hit all this stuff this year. It's impossible. This is just, again, it's just something so that I have a chance to maybe work on something more than once a year. That's what this is all about this year. Milestones, 2,263. So some projects only have like anywhere between 2 and 4 milestones to get them finished off. Some have upwards of 20 plus milestones because they're broken down into smaller milestones. Okay. This is my basket for anyone who hasn't seen me yet. They just watched my whip parade and that was it. This is my basket. This is all of my projects ripped up, cut into little pieces of paper. After I show you everything that I've worked on, I'm gonna pull projects out of the basket to see what I'm gonna work on for the next 2 weeks. Now, I think what I'll do first is I'll show you the stuff I've worked on. I have a lot to show you today. Stuff I've worked on, the stuff I'm going to work on, and stuff I've gotten, like a Christmas present that I got from my mom, and then some other stuff that I've gotten. But let me show you, because not everybody cares about that stuff, so I'm gonna show you later in the video. I'm gonna show you the stuff that some people are just here for, and that's it, which is my whips. After 10 minutes of me yapping. Okay. Oh, real quick. I actually took notes. Look at me, I'm a grown-up. So my total stitches for the past 2 weeks were 12,650 stitches. I apparently was very excited to start all the things at my last Flosstube because only 4,100 of them have been since January 1st, 5 days ago. So I did man, I forgot. I didn't write that number down. Whatever 12,650 is minus 4,100. 8,550 I did between December the 23rd and December the 31st. Sorry. You're driving me crazy. My cat is a nervous scratcher, so he will literally go into the litter box and just scratch. And it's annoying to me. I don't know if you guys hear it, but it's super annoying to me. So I just throw pens and stuff at the litter box to get him to get out. Okay, so total stitches for the past 2 weeks, 12,650. 4,100 of them have been since January the 1st. I'm going to keep track. I didn't really track my stitches super well last year. I do know that I did probably about 220,000 stitches in the year 2023 because I was tracking it on one of my games. We had a year-long, individual people had a year-long thing where they posted their stitches, and I had about 214,000, and that was before I had filmed the Flosstube, and I've done 8,000 between the 23rd and the 31st. So but my mom sent me this little calendar, this month in stitches, so I've been writing down how many stitches I've done on everything since the 1st. So my next Flosstube, I'll tell you what my week totals were, and then once February hits, I'll tell you what my total stitches were in January. It's kind of cute. Okay, so numbers real quick. New starts, I started 12 new projects. I worked on 5 whips. I worked on a total of 17 projects. Once I show you my whips, or once I show you the stuff I've worked on, we're going to update my category board. And then my big boards are back. 4 of them. Okay. One more thing before I start showing you my whips. I know. One more thing. I got talked into doing a SAL. The Heaven and Earth Designs Stitch Along for 2024. I got talked into doing it. Thanks a lot, Alara. And apparently, Case from Jeep Girl Stitches and our friend Jen, because they supposedly talked Alara into doing it. That's what she said. And then she talked me into doing it. So I added another project to my list. I'm not including it in the categories or milestones because of, let me just show that first. I'm not including it in the categories or milestones because the idea, if you don't know, it's too late to join now. I mean, it was literally last minute. Like, the deadline to join was December the 30th, and I joined December the 29th. So I wasn't even going to do it. I really wasn't. I got talked into it at the last minute. But if you don't know about it, hopefully they'll do one next year too. But a couple girls, not the designer, not Michelle, but a couple girls wanted to do a SAL. They got with Michelle. She came up with 10 pieces that are small and doable in 1 year. And this is what I like about the SAL. She had 10 options to pick from. It's not just one option. So it was like $10. They're going to release like 3 pages every quarter for a total of 12 pages. All the projects range between 58,000 and 61,000 stitches for the entire piece. And if you do 4 pages by the end of the year, then you get all 10 of the options. Like you signed up for the SAL and then you picked which project you wanted to do. If you finish 4 pages, then you get all 10 of those patterns. If you finish the whole thing, you get all 10 of those patterns plus any two patterns off of the Heaven and Earth Designs website that you want. And I really want the 2 free patterns. So so I have milestones set for that piece, but it's never going to go away. This is going to be a project that I keep out all year long. And I have it, what did I do with my tablet? Here it is. It was under my board. I have so much going on right now. It has a milestone of I need to hit 1,200 stitches every week, and I will finish it before the deadline if I get 1,200 stitches every week. Now, with this SAL, they said that both full coverage or full cross and tent stitch, you could do either one. Like you don't have to only do full cross. So to make my life easier, I am going to do this in tent stitch. I chose Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2. This piece is a cutout from the Merry Mushroom Village like full piece from Amy Stewart. And that is what it's going to look like. Actually, yeah. So that is what it's going to look like. And it is 300 by 205. Let me show you one more time. Sorry. You're going to be seeing it every 2 weeks. So I've done, it didn't start until the 1st. So I've got my 1,200 stitches in for the week. And I'm doing this 2 threads tent stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana. What I will say is part of the reason why I signed up, like I kind of wanted the charts, and it's funny because when I was talking to Alara about the SAL to begin with, she was like, yeah, but are those really going to be pieces that you want to do? And I'm like, well, not all of them. I'm talking about the 10 free ones. And like if you finish 4 pages. I said, well, not necessarily all of them. She said, could you live without them? I was like, yeah. She's like, you probably shouldn't do it. And then not even 3 days later, she's like, oh my God, I signed up to join that Sal. You should join it with me. I'm like, man. So anyway, and we're actually doing the same piece. We picked the same piece. So this is my 1200 tent stitches. As I'm doing it. I happen to have, I had pulled out wool piece or wool shop to work on it. And when I was opening the fabric to start it, this fell out. And I'm like, so I double checked wool shop, and because apparently I had 2 pieces of fabric folded up together, and the piece of fabric for wool shop, it was big enough. So I was like, okay. Cause I was like, oh my God, did I think that it was 1 piece and it was actually 2 and now it won't fit? No, it will. But this was an extra one, and this project will fit on it. So yay me. So 2 threads, tent stitch on a 28 count, easy count Lugana. That's my week 1 stopping point. I will be working on this, like I said, 1200 stitches every week. So this will not ever get put away. And the next time you see this, I should have another 2400 stitches on it. Oh, shit. I didn't show you my other board. My bad. Here's my other board. I was so like gung-ho on talking on everything. I forgot to show this board. So this is where I write down. So this will get wiped out and redone after today's video. But this is where I write down all of the projects that I will be working on for the next 2 weeks. The blue numbers are the numbers I need to hit the goal. The red number, or the milestone. The red numbers are if I worked on the project, how many stitches I did on it. And then if I completed the milestone, I wrote done. So there's my board. It originally ended down here at number 23, and then I added 2 more over here. That's why it's like so weird looking. I usually try to keep it just in 1 column, but what are you gonna do when you add crap, right? All right. So I showed you that piece. The next piece I'm going to show you is my challenge with Alara. She and I have a challenge together of 25K in 25 weeks. That is actually the hashtag 25K in 25 weeks whenever we actually post to Instagram. I sometimes forget. She is going to get 25,000 stitches done on Dragons of the Sabbat by Paine Crafts. It is now a retired chart. And she got all the outside black done. I'm going to link her channel down below so you can go check it out, because she just showed it in her most recent Flosstube. So go check it out. All the outside black is done. She is a better person than me, because I would have put that shit away a long time ago. But she did that in a challenge with Dizzy Stitcher last year. So this year her challenge with me is going to be to do 25,000 stitches on the inside black, and then the second half, and we're going to get all this stuff done by June, and then the second half of the year she's going to do another 25,000 stitches in black with in a challenge with Suki the Brown-Eyed Stitcher. So, but for my challenge, for my part, let me stop talking about other people and let's focus back on me, because that's what you're here for, right? My challenge is going to be to do 25,000 stitches on Honeymoon Sunset by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 869 by 649. It has 133 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Look how pretty that is, huh? I started the year at 30% complete. So this is not like a new start or anything for me, if you have not seen me before. Let me just find it. Actually, that can go back in there. Where are you? There you are. And I ended up going down to a corner that I had not worked on at all last year. Actually, I think since I started Flosstube, I kept going up to the top. So I'm going to show you the part that I worked on first. I went down to the bottom right corner, and so I'm going to do 1,000 stitches a week. I'm doing this 2/1 tent stitch. A lot of my older full coverages are in tent stitch because I was like, oh, get through them faster. Now I am doing 1/1 full cross on my newer full coverages, except for the hate cell, because I have a deadline on that. But now I'm doing 1/1 full cross on my full coverages because it's less bulky. But I'm doing this 2/1 tent stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And I came down here and I started working in all the ninja stitches right here, and I started getting some of the sand filled in. And this color right here is 37.79, I think. And I was realizing that I could do my entire challenge of 25K in 25 weeks in this color, and I still won't have it completed because there's like 27,000 stitches of that color. But I'm not going to do that because I can't do extreme cross country. That's just, I start getting bored of working on one color, even though I have some monochrome pieces. But it's different. It's different. I can't explain it. But that's where I'm at with that. And then let me go ahead and just show you the whole piece real quick. I'm not going to hold it up for very long. Because I'm going to be showing it every single floss tube. And I'm not sure if I'm going to stay down in that corner, or if I'm going to move to another spot. Because as you see, I have a lot of options. So I'm 30, hang on. Okay, I have done 170, can you see? There we go. 170,188 stitches done out of 563,981, and I am at 30.18%. And I was guessing that by doing 25,000 stitches, I will be up to like 34.5%. I think is what I was estimating. So we'll see how right I am. But you'll be seeing it. So the next time you see this, I should have another 2,000 stitches on it. If you want to join in, me and her have a little monetary thing going on where we're going to spend money on each other regardless if we complete the challenge. What was the dollar amount we set? We're going to shop for each other on our 1, 2, 3 stitch like wish list for stuff, not for patterns, but for like the bits and bobs that we need to finish projects. So what I plan on doing as I'm working on stuff throughout the year is I don't have all the threads I need for all of my projects. So whatever I'm missing, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to add it to the wish list. So stuff like that, like the threads and, buttons and whatnot that we need to finish our projects. That's what we're going to go shopping for each other for. And if one of us does not finish the challenge, whoever does not finish the challenge has to spend more money. I think we decided on either like 25 or 30 bucks. I could be wrong, but I think it was about 25 or 30 bucks. And then if we didn't finish, it got up to, I think it might have been $25. And then if we didn't finish, it was up to 50, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, those are my 2 projects that you're going to see throughout the year because, well, at least Honeymoon Sunset will be through June. And then the Hate Sal will be all year. Okay. Next up will be my FOFs, Focus on a Finish. Mr. Whiskers, please stop. Hey, stop. Focus on a Finish. I had 2 pieces pulled out to be Focus on a Finish. One of them was my best friend's quotes. I actually did not really work on it. I was realizing I pulled out that one, Walking to Town, and California Dreaming. All 3 of those pieces I had worked on in December. Like I've been working on them recently, and I was realizing all the projects that I had recently been working on, I don't want to touch for a little while. So I did not work on any of those pieces. But I did work on my other Focus on a Finish. I didn't finish it yet, but I did work on my other Focus on a Finish. And this is from the Year of Gnomes Stitch Along. I don't remember if it's Year of Gnomes Stitch Along still, or if it's now Gnome of the Month from Cross Stitch for Everyone. Now that I'm not in my WIP parade anymore, I will try to be good, and I will list all of my projects in the description box down below, plus anybody I talk about. But I'll try to list all the projects down below with a link on where you can get the pattern. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. So this is, Cross Stitch for Everyone, I think it was back in 2020, had put out hang on, I could have swore I just saw a copyright thing on here. No, like a year. I think it was from 2020, because 2020 for me seemed to be the year of the stitch along. I think I started like 7 or 8 stitch alongs that year. But Cross Stitch for Everyone had put out a stitch along where she released a gnome for every month of the year that was themed differently to be associated with that month. My focus on, and I said in my WIP parade that I had one started and I wanted to get all 12 of them started and finished. They're not all going to get done, but the May gnome will get done. It's not done yet, but it's close. But this is the May gnome, and I had started this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Anyway, I had started this one first because of a group, one of the Facebook groups. It was like, you know, one of the events in there. It was like, oh, work on a stitch along that has like a piece for every month, and it was in the month of May, so I started that one. I started the year at 75%. I am currently, hold on, how do I want to do this? I started the year at 75%. In order to finish this piece, I need 1,770 stitches. I've done 750. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 28 count white Monaco. That is where I'm at so far. I am at 86.17%. I have 6,349 stitches done out of 7,368. And let me see, I actually wrote down how many stitches were left. It's less than 1,000. That's what I'm saying. This will get done by the next time I'm on here. May gnome, where are you at? Oh, it's down at the bottom because it's under Year of Gnomes. Oh, it's not under 1,000. 1,020. Why was I thinking less than 1,000? 1,020 stitches left to finish this. And I had originally had this broken down into 2 milestones. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I have all 12 of the cards in here because I'm doing them all on the same fabric. Oh, it's in the front. I'm doing them all in the same fabric. They're all going to go on a white Monaco 1/1. I threw my pen. Now I don't have something to write with. I got to check it off. But in my silliness, I did not realize I was going to need it. So I have a second piece to do the rest of the gnomes on. And I believe, I'm pretty sure, because I'm going to do them all on, you look so tiny on this giant piece of fabric, huh? But I'm going to do them, I'm going to do as many as I can on this piece, and then I have a second piece to finish them off. Because when I got this, I'm like, oh yeah, 9 will fit on here just fine. There's 12 months in a year, stupid. So I had to get a second piece. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to fit 9 on here because I don't need a huge margin. I can't remember exactly. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I just know that I don't need 3 inches of fabric on each side to finish them. But I technically did get one of my milestones completed because my first milestone for this was 85% and I'm at 86. But it's going to stay out because I want to finish it. Okay. So those were kind of like my 3 focus pieces. I feel like this is a little... Okay. Next thing I'm going to show you was my New Year, New Start. I don't know if Case ended up getting to work on this because she has a lot going on. But we originally had decided to do our New Year, New Start as Mountain Cabin from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Dominic Davison. And I got the Max Color version, and I am looking for it on Pattern Keeper. Actually, I have the cover sheet printed out. And I could always just insert a screenshot of the cover photo. But this is Mountain Cabin Max Color by Dominic Davison. This is 725 by 518. I've seen the mini stitched up, and I've seen other people stitching like all the different versions because there's like super size. I think it comes in super size as well. I tend to go for a color expansion. If color expansion is not available, I go for Max Color if that one's available, because I feel like a lot of these pieces like this need more than 90 colors. So, but this was my New Year, New Start. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. And there is my first 1,000 stitches on this. So I have 1,000 stitches done out of 375,550. I am at 0.27%. And I have an overall goal of 6,000 stitches, but I did go ahead and get my first milestone completed on it. And I think now that I'm into my regular whips, I'm going to go ahead and tell you if they're going to go, what the status of them is. Like if they go back in the basket, if they get held out or whatever. So this is in 2 categories. It's in full coverage and then Sal's. So it's in 2 categories because I'm doing it. Even though I don't think she was able to start it and we're definitely not going to have the same progress, I technically am counting this as a stitch along with Case. So I'm counting it in the Sal category as well. I'm going to count this as a milestone completed for the full coverage category because that one has more in it. And then once I'm done showing you everything, then we'll go ahead and update my category board. But so it's going to go back in the basket so I can work on it for the Sal category. However, I'm not putting it in this go round. I learned that last year too, that if I worked on something and it wasn't done and it like went back in the basket, I tended to not want to work on it again. So I don't want to put this back in the basket and do another 1,000 stitches over the next 2 weeks. So it's going to get held, any milestone I completed will get held out for the floss tube that I'm showing it in, and then it'll go back in because by then it'll be another 2 weeks and I'll be ready to work on it again. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you, I don't think there was any more special pieces. I think now we're just going to be working on, I'm just going to be showing you whatever. Oh, that's right. I have thread hanging. I was like, what is that? Next thing I'm going to show you is a new start. And this is from Mill Hill Buttons and Beads Autumn Series. This is Enchanted Pumpkin. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm using whatever comes in the kit. This was the, well, not the first. I actually started the other one first, but this is one of the first Mill Hill kits that I've ever worked on. And let me think of how I want to do this so that you can actually see what's happening here. There we go. It's perforated paper. It's like, well, I guess you could. Anyway, so my first milestone was 500 stitches. And I started in the middle and worked my way up to the top. I got to flip this picture around that's looking at me. There we go. Okay, that looks better. I had the picture upside down, so when I was looking at it, I was like, wait, that can't be right. No, it's right. So I started in the middle and then worked my way up to the top because, of course, I always get paranoid with kits. Like, is it big enough? Mill Hill wouldn't do that. They wouldn't give you a piece not big enough. And then I was like, well, maybe I messed up, even though I did what it said. It said to, on the wrong side of the fabric, make an X, so you knew where the middle was. And I did that, but I was still paranoid. So I worked my way up to the top. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Next time I pull it out, I'll probably work my way down to the bottom. But anyway, I have an end goal to finish this. Like all the cross stitching, all the beads, everything. I have it divided into 10 milestones. My first milestone was 500 stitches, which I got it done. And this is in 3 categories. Yeah, it's in 3 categories. It's in holiday, small kits, and fancy like. Because I feel like my fancy like category is stuff I think is fancy. And I think this is fancy. And I ended up finishing this milestone under the small kits category. So it's not gonna go back in the basket today, but after today it will. After I do pull my projects, it will. And I can still pull it out again to work on holiday and fancy like. So I still have 2 more categories I can work on that for until I start hitting more stuff. Okay, next up is Spa Gnome. And I will just insert a picture here of what it looks like. Let me just do this so when I'm editing, I know what I'm doing. But this is Spa Gnome. This is from cutebroidery.com. And I had a goal of 3,000 stitches on this. I'm doing this on a 14 count Charles Craft roll of Ada. It's like the pinky purple one. It's just the one that you pick up at the craft store. 123 Stitch does have these rolls of fabric. I feel like they're more expensive on 123 Stitch personally. But that might also be just that my store is just, the Joann's I go to just has it for cheaper. I'm not really sure. But it's just the pink purple one like that. And this, my first milestone was to hit 500 stitches, which I did. I ended up coming here and working in the little braid right there and some of the robe, but mostly in this braid. I didn't feel like working on that towel on top of her head. So like I said, I have an end goal of 3,000 stitches. Sorry for the lighting. Let me try it like this. That's a little better. It's like, it was dark and gloomy out. Now the sun's starting to come out, so it's jacking up my light. That's better. Goal of 3,000 stitches. Milestone, 6 milestones. Milestone 1 was 500. And this is in the gnomes category. Right? I only had this in one category, gnomes. So this is going to go away until I hit 10 of the goals in the gnomes category. So it's not going away for the rest of the year, but it is going away for right now. Next up is a retired chart from Paine Crafts, and this is Wool Shop. I tried to print out as many of the cover photos as I could so I didn't have to go. Actually, I still have to find it in pattern paper. This is Wool Shop. Artwork is by Steve Crisp. This is from Paine Crafts, and it is 600 by 429. It was a new start. Oh, Spa Gnome was a whip if you'd never seen it before. It was a whip. But the wool shop, I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this. I have it divided into 6 milestones. The first milestone was 1,000 stitches and I hit it. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 28 count, easy count Lugana. There is my first 1,000 stitches. So I have 1,000 stitches done out of 257,400. I am at 0.39%. This is in, you guys are going to have to forgive me because I was not sure how exactly I wanted to do this. So I'm like figuring out how I'm going to do this, like regarding like the categories and whatnot. And I can't promise that it won't be less chaotic in the future, but I'll try. So wool shop, I have this in 2 categories. I have this in full coverage and I have it in seasonal series because he put out multiple shops and I am starting all of them except for one. And the only reason I'm not starting the one is because I didn't cut fabric for it. So I have almost every single shop on my list to be started. And so I'm counting it as a series. And it's also in full coverage because it's a full coverage. So I finished that milestone in the seasonal series category. So it will end up going back in the basket after today for the full coverage category. Okay, next up is from, and regarding the zippers, by the way, some people are like, I'm sorry about the zippers. I have everything unzipped and blah, blah. Like, if I unzip everything, shit's gonna fall out. It's happened to me before. So I get the noise because I wear hearing aids, so my phone is Bluetooth, so everything plays through my hearing aids. And so I get the loud noises, but every time I hear zippers going directly into my ear, it's not that loud to me. So I don't think it's loud to other people. So if it bothers you, I'm sorry, but that's just something that happens here. I talk loud enough. If my voice is not loud compared to the zippers, then you probably should get your hearing checked. But anyway, this is from Cute Patterns by Maria on Etsy. This is, she called it Pumpkin Autumn. When I printed it, I just called it Pumpkins. I got it because of that blue pumpkin right there. I really, really liked it. And I think I've seen it stitched up somewhere on Facebook. What I did was, because I have this in Pattern Keeper, and so I saw this is like symbolizing a half stitch. And I wrote the symbols down that were half stitches because in Pattern Keeper, it doesn't differentiate between the two. It just tells you where they are. So I wrote that down so that if I come across that, I know that they're half stitches, not full crosses. So that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing this on another roll of the 14 Craft Charles Count Ada in the color Dog Pea. I don't know what the color is. Ah, shit, which way's up? Now I gotta find it on Pattern Keeper. Hang on. I feel like I know which way it goes. What are you doing? What are you doing? Pattern Keeper froze up on me. Hang on. What's happening? I don't want to talk to you. I want you to... My tablet is like acting up right now. I don't know if it's... Let me just clear. There we go. Bear with me. I just want to make sure I show you the right way. I think I know the right way, but I just want to double check. Plus, I got to tell you, here it is. Okay. So 14 count Charles Craft Ada. in the color dog pee because it looks like a dog peed all over the fabric. And I have a goal of 8,000 stitches. It's folded up, so whatever. I have a goal of 8,000 stitches on this. I have it broken down into 8 milestones of 1,000 each. And my first milestone was 1,000 stitches and I got it done. So there's 1,000 stitches on that. And so I am, without the back stitching, I am at 6.03% completed on the cross stitching. And this is in, I want to say 2 categories. Yeah, it's in Etsy and it's in seasonal series. So I went ahead and checked off the milestone for seasonal series. What I did was, if it's in multiple categories, I'm saying that it's completed for the category with the highest number of projects in it, because that will start knocking that list down. Okay, next up. I loved working on this. This is from, this was a stitch along in just, well, no, it was a series, not really a stitch along. This was a series in Just Cross Stitch magazine in 2023. They put out a series of Mother Nature pieces. They had one for each season, and then they did 2 bonus pieces, one for Halloween and then one for Christmas. So I, of course, wanted to do all of them because I am a sucker for a series. So this one is Mother Nature Summer, and I can't remember the individual woman's name, but she is, I saw it's from Stitchora, which is a shop on Etsy, and I have another piece from them that I want to do that is on my list to be started. And so, but this was the first one I pulled out. This is Mother Nature Summer. And I have lost my card. Here it is. This was in, like I said, Just Cross Stitch magazine, June of 2023. I am using the Readly app, I think it's Readly, to pull the patterns up. And for the love of God, that cat. I'm using the Readly pattern app to pull the magazines up because I get access to all the cross stitch magazines that are out. Totally worth the subscription, in my opinion. And I'm doing all of them on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco 1/1, or no, I'm sorry, I lied, I'm a fat liar, 2/2. Which way's up? This way. And there is my starting point. My goal was 500. I'm sorry, I forgot which way was up for a minute. My goal was 500 stitches, which is what I got done. And I have an end goal of 5,000 stitches. And this is in 2 categories. This is in Fancy Like, and it's in Seasonal Series. And so I'm going to check this off for the Seasonal Series category. I apologize again for the lighting. I'm just double checking to make sure I started in the right place. Okay, I see where that is. Okay, I should be good. I just had a brief moment of panic. I'm like, did I start this way too high? Because I don't need this giant piece of fabric for it, but this was what I had to get the thing done. And I just had a moment of panic that I miscalculated, but I didn't. It'll be fine. Okay. Next up is another Mill Hill kit that I started. My beads fell. This thing has a lot of beads in it. Like, holy cow. This is Sugar Cookie House from the Spring series. And I have a goal to finish this. I have it divided into 8 milestones, with the first milestone being 500 stitches, which I completed. And this is, I want to say in, let me see. I guess technically it could be in the seasonal series category, but I got enough pieces in that category. I was just thinking, I was like, technically it could be seasonal series because it's literally called spring series, but it's fine. I have this in 2 categories. I have this in small kits and I have this in fancy like. So I will be counting this towards the small kits category because there is 40 in that category. So got 500 stitches done on that. One more look because it's cute. Oh, I can't hold it up like that. This is my stitching arm, and I've been stitching so much that my arm, like my shoulder, is starting to get a little messed up. I'm getting old. All right, next up, a milestone I just completed last night. So this is Gingerbread Smalls 2022 from Twin Peak Primitives. Mr. Whiskers, I swear to God, I don't want to stop the video. So I'm trying to like get him to just settle down. Gingerbread Smalls from 2022 from Twin Peak Primitives. The one, I'm going to do all 9 of these pieces on one fabric, but I'm finishing them separately, so I'm counting them as 9 different pieces. So the one I pulled was this one here, the carousel. And I'm doing them all on a 28 count even weave Lugana in the color Cornflower from Fiber on a Whim. And this is my, I believe I have a goal to finish all of these. Yeah, a goal to finish all of them. I'm thinking, where is it? Carousel. I have this one broken down into 6 different milestones with 1,000 stitches each. I'm thinking that should do it for that. And this is my first 1,000 stitches. So I started in the middle and I got like, I was working on this and I started working my way up, and I wanted to try to give myself a section that could just fill in with the red. And so I started working my way, but then I hit 1,000, so I stopped. But yeah, that's my first 1,000. I'm doing it 2 over 2 on the 28 count Cornflower. And this is in Christmas and seasonal series. So I actually will be counting it for the seasonal series category. And like I said, all 9 of these are going to be different starts. So you may, depending on how I end up pulling this, you may end up seeing this a lot, depending on how often it gets pulled out. Because there's 9 of them and they're in 2 categories each. So. Next up is another new start. So far, I think I've only shown you, not counting my 2 of my focus pieces, my focus on a finish and the honeymoon sunset, I think I've only shown you 1 whip. Next up is another new start, and this is a Dimensions Gold Collection Petite. This is Coffee Shop. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this. And I'm doing whatever comes in the kit. And I went to the middle, and then I went over to, I counted over to the corner so I could do a corner start. So there's my 500 stitches. Are any of these half? Yeah, so it looks like a lot more because this is all half cross. And so when I'm counting my stitches, I double the half crosses most of the time. Honeymoon, Sunset, and the Hade Sal, I'm not, because for those, a stitch is a stitch. But when I'm counting this stuff for my games, I double the half stitches to count as a full cross. So Copy Shop is in 2 categories. It's in small kits and it's in Christmas. So I will be counting this for the Christmas category. Let me just double check myself and make sure I got that right. Yeah, I'm counting this for the Christmas category because there are more projects in that category. But it can still get pulled out for, what was the other one? Small kits. Okay, next up is a stitch along from Steotch from 2020. This is from the, oh hell, where'd the cover photo go? So this was their stitch along from 2020, and it is called, I'm calling it House. I was trying to find the actual cover photo. Did I accidentally toss it? I was trying to get rid of, oh, here it is. And that's their color scheme. They did it in kind of grays. I'm doing it in 4 different color schemes because I couldn't pick one when I started this. So I'm doing it in a variation of pinks, oranges, greens, and purples. My end goal is to get this entire thing completed. I have it broken down into 5 milestones, with each milestone to be to complete one part of it. I already had parts 1 and 2 complete, so my first milestone was to complete part 3. What I did was, so I had an idea of how many stitches it was going to be, was I completed part 3 in the green, and it was 366 stitches. And then I ended up doing another 300 working on, it was 366 stitches. I've done a total of 600. So the rest of those stitches, I was working on the hair in the other 3. So I still need to do, maybe this was the one that was less than 1,000. I had one that was like less than 1,000 stitches to complete, and I think it might have been this. Yeah, for this, I still need to do 864 stitches to complete the milestone because I figured out how many it was going to take for part 3. So this will go back in the basket after I pull my stuff today. No, I put it in now because it's not done. So I could potentially pull it out again today. And like I said, my goal is to finish it. And it is only in one category. It's in the Sal category. So once I complete the first milestone, it'll go away until I meet 14 milestones for the Sal category. Next up is a kit from Designs for the Needle. This is a really old piece that I had. This is Isaiah. Copyright. I don't know. I just know it's old. I don't even know when I bought it. It doesn't say it on here. But anyway. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing this in memory of my grandfather and in honor of my step-grandfather, because my step-grandfather is very religious, and my first grandfather, and they both really love eagles. Like my grandfather, who died when I was a teenager, he had a CB handle of crippled wing. I don't know if that's why, but I know he really loved eagles. Anyway, my end goal is to do 3,000 stitches on this. My first milestone was to do 500. So I started in the middle, which was down here, and I decided to just work my way up the eagle feather, or the eagle wing. Like, I started in the middle, and I decided to work my way up. So I got my 500 stitches in on this. And this is, I think, only in one category. Yeah, it's in the large kits category. So it's going to go away, and it will not get pulled out until 24 milestones are met. Now, keep in mind, I know some of you are thinking, okay, well, that's kind of defeating the purpose of what you were doing to begin with. Keep in mind that all these projects that I've been showing you, if I was doing it the same way I did it last year, I wouldn't touch any of these projects again until next year. So I'm doing it this way this year to see if I can try to avoid that. Okay, next up is, I'm calling it I'm calling it Ancestors. It doesn't really have a name. And I gotta dig for the book now. This is from Cross Stitch for the Earth from Emma Congdon. And Mr. Whiskers. It's on page 14. Oh, but the picture's on page 13. So that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And my silly butt said that I wanted to finish this piece. How exciting, huh? So I said I wanted to finish that. And it's a new start. My first milestone is going to be to complete, I didn't finish this milestone, but my first milestone is to complete the phrase from our ancestors and do the rocks and the bears, yeah. From our ancestors and the rocks and the bears up here. That's my first milestone. I only did 300 stitches, and that's mainly because I pulled it out to start it after I had completed a milestone like a couple weekends ago, and I still had some time to do some stitching. So I just pulled this out because it was going to be easy to work on. I'm doing this on a 14 count white Aida. There's my 300 stitch start. So it's going to go back in the basket for me to pull it out again. Of course, I have a thread thing. I didn't finish it off because I was so tired at that point. I think it was like 1:30 in the morning. I don't know. But this is going to be in other, I believe. Ancestors. Yeah, it's in the other category because it's from a book. It doesn't really like go with anything. It doesn't really like fall into any of my other categories. So it's in other. Put that down there. Put this back in here. And the last whip I'm going to show you is from Cooler Design Studio. This is Winter Sampler. Artwork is by Sandy Orton. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this. I have it in 6 milestones of 1,000 stitches each. I'm doing this on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco 2/2. And I got my 1,000 stitches in this section right up here. Like the holly and the berries and like the greenery. And then I started working on the phrase winter and this tree right here. And this is in, I know it's in seasonal series. And I think it's in Sampleresque. Yeah, seasonal series and Sampleresque. So I'm going to count this 1,000 stitches as seasonal series because there's 90 in there. But there's my 1,000. Again, apologize for the lighting. It's just, it's so hard. I live in like a cave. Like the natural light's okay, but not for filming. Maybe the next place I move to, I should be like, listen, I need good lighting for when I film my Flosstube. Maybe I should just buy more lights. There's a thought. Not right now though. So I got 1,000 stitches done on that. That's all my whips and new starts. All right. Let's update my milestone board. So So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the ones that we are updating. So full coverage, seasonal series, Christmas, large kits, small kits, gnomes, and then we're going to update my milestone count. And I think I'll write it in green. I like having all the colors. Oh my God, there we go. So full coverage. Let me move this over here. Okay, so full coverage, I am completing 1 milestone for that category. Seasonal series, I am doing 5. The Christmas category has 1 milestone completed. The large kits category has 1 milestone completed. Small kits has 2 milestones completed. And the gnomes category has 1 milestone completed. And then my total milestones. So my milestones are all of the 13 milestones like that I showed you, plus technically that Year of Gnomes, the May gnome, I hit 86%. So my first milestone for that was 85. So I'm counting that as a milestone completed. So that's 14. It's just going to stay out because I want to get that finished. Oh, you know what? Shit. Actually, that is actually 16 because my milestones for the Heaven and Earth Sal and Honeymoon Sunset, Honeymoon Sunset has 25 milestones of 1,000 stitches. Honeymoon Sunset, the Haid Sal has 52 milestones of 1,200 stitches. So this is actually going to be 16. My bad. There we go. So there's that updated. You know why I have a stupid grin on my face? You know what we're going to do now? That everybody just loves so much? Y'all are going to die when you see these boards. We're going to update my boards. So what I did last year, if you didn't watch me last year, if you're new and you didn't go back and watch me last year, I had a giant project board like they use for the science fairs in elementary school, and I had a giant marker. And every goal that I hit, I would cross off on the giant board. Like by the end of the year, it looked like a government paper that was released to the public and all the words were censored out. That's what it looked like by the end of the year. This year, since I'm not Since stuff is going to go back in the basket, I feel like I just sunk down because I pulled the pillow out from under me. But this year, because stuff is going back in the basket, I had to do something different. So, what I did was I got to find... I wrote down... This is why I needed 4 boards, because I put down every single project I had. And I still have space to add more if I need to, which I will. But I was like, I still wanted to be able to check stuff off because people love the board so much. They loved watching me struggle with it. Now you get to watch me struggle with 4 of them. But I wrote down, do not freak out. I wrote down every project and I put a square for every milestone that they have. I know, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. I was thinking that when I was writing it out. I'm like, this is such a... I can read it. I don't expect you to read it. You're just going to watch me cross it off with my Blue's Clues marker. Okay, so... is there anything? Oh, coffee shop is right here. So I'm just going to color in the squares. Right there. I mean, you got to work with me. There's only so much I can do. Okay. Let me do it like this. Hang on one second. I got to check these off because I don't want to be bouncing back and forth between all the different, there we go. I want to be bouncing back and forth between all of the different boards. So I'm trying to do it this board, then the next board. So I got to make sure that I check this stuff off. What did I do? Coffee shop right there. So I'm going to clear this board out once I'm done anyway. Okay. Enchant. Did I move you? Sorry. The marker got caught on the thing, on the stand. Okay. Enchanted Pumpkin is over here. Gingerbread Smalls Carousel is on this one. It's down here. I'm just coloring them in. No biggie. This is just for funsies. Oh, let's see. I think that's it for this one. Yeah, that's it for this board. So I can go right there. Maybe. Oh my God. Next board is Isaiah. Oh, this is going to be fun. Isaiah. I might have to change the color. I might have to switch it back to black. Mother Nature Summer. It's over here. Where does it go down to? Pumpkins. Nope, that's the next board. Mountain Cabin. Right here below it. I think that's it for this board. Next board. I have the Hazel and Honeymoon Sunset on my 4th board because they're special pieces. Okay, pumpkins. So right here. Winter sampler. Winter sampler. Where is it? Here it is, down here. I like fuzz stuck to me. Winter sampler. Sugar cookie house. Right here. Now, I will say when I was doing this, I did mess a few of them up, and I have more boxes written on here than I should, but it's fine. I'm not going to hit all this stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Spa gnome. Ah! It's over here. Spa gnome. I know, this is super busy, but I was trying to think of how I could get this worked in. Okay, wool shop. It's down here. And you guys like watching me struggle with this anyway. And I am going to go ahead and check off the May Gnome's first milestone because I did hit it technically. There we go. And for the last board. So, I know, it looks very, it looks so pathetic. But what I did was I put the two special pieces right here. So Honeymoon Sunset, I got my first 1,000 stitches in. And then the Hayes Sal is 1,200 per week. So there's 52 milestones for that. So next time you see me, I will be filling out 2 on each of them as long as I get my goals done for those. Now, what we're going to do over here is nothing right now. But as I get finishes, see I put finishes 135. So I did go ahead and list them out because you never know. Especially with me. I didn't think I was going to get all the stuff done last year that I did get done, so I ain't going to get 135 finishes. There ain't no way in hell, but I did go ahead and write them on there. And then as I finish a project, I'm going to write it on here with the date that I finished it. Which will also make it easier for me for my whip parade at the end of the year. So I'm not sitting there trying to figure out which ones. Okay. The stuff that I received that I said earlier that I was like, oh, I want to show you this gift I got, blah, blah. I'm going to save that for the end. Because not everybody cares to see all the stuff in everybody's crap bag that they got. So I'm going to save it for the end. That way, if you don't care about the stuff that I got, then you can go. But because sometimes I like seeing people's stuff, and this is why I don't usually show the stuff that I got. But this time I want to. But usually, sometimes when people are like, I got this and I got this, and I'm like, okay, and then I just start stitching and I don't really pay attention to it. I'm not the biggest fan of the haul section of people's things. But I know some people really enjoy it, so I'll show you what I got this time, but at the very end. Now, what I'm going to do is pull out. I got to mix this up, though, because I put projects at the very top, and I don't want to pull them out again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out. So I still have my best friend's quotes. I still have May Gnome as my focus on a finish. And then I have Honeymoon Sunset and the Hayes Sal. So I got 4 pieces already. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out $20. I'm going to go ahead and pull out 20. I like pulling out more than what I could possibly work on. Anything that didn't have a milestone completed or that I didn't touch went back in the basket for today's draw. But I like having more than what I could possibly work on to give myself options, because sometimes I look at a piece, I'm like, I really don't want to work on that right now. But because I have now 321 projects to pick from, as you see by all these, I have 4 Sterilite containers and 2 fabric cubes that I have to pull these projects out of. So I'm going to pull out of the basket first, and then I'm going to grab the first Sterilite container and pull the projects out and show you, unless I have them sitting down here at my feet. So we're going to pull 20 out first, so I'm not like jumping back and forth between all these different bins. Okay, first thing is, ooh, another Mother Nature piece. Mother Nature Halloween. That'll be a new start. Okay, next up is Christmas with Friends. Oh, that'll be a new start. I had to think about what piece that was. Next up, One More Chapter. That's another new start. I cannot tell you how happy I am about all these new starts. It makes me happy. Next up, Summer. Oh yes, I mean it's a new start. I had to think about which start it was though. I know which one it is. Next up, Unicorn. It's another new start. It's a Teresa Winsler. It's a mini, but it's a Teresa Winsler. Next up, ooh, Stitcher's Paradise. Is this the Sal from World Across Stitch? Oh, I think it might be. Oh, exciting. Okay. Who's doing Stitcher's Paradise? I think it's Yantina from Yantina Stitches. Pretty sure. Ocean ABC. This is a whip. I do have whips in here, I promise. Ocean ABC. Christmas Reindeer. That's another whip. Next up is Summertime. This is another whip. Okay, next up is Let's Talk Stitching. This is a new start. Next up, Day to Night North America. This is a whip. I'm trying to keep them in kind of alphabetical order so I have a better idea of how many I'm going to be pulling out from the bins and which bins I need to grab. Oh, next up, Gingerbread Smalls Camper. So it's not the carousel that I just showed you. This is a different Gingerbread Smalls. Next up is Grinch Gnome and Company. This is another whip. All right. Springtime Splendor. This is a whip too. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think 14. I'll count again in a few. I'm going to pick 5 and then I'll count one more time just to make sure. I need Colors of Christmas. Oh, this is a new start. Oh, I'm excited about this one. Of course, I said I was excited about a few of them last time, and I didn't even pull them out or work on them. So you never know what I'm going to work on. All right, next up is Toy Shop. This is another new start. And let's see. Oh, Bookmark Cups. This is a new start. I've been thinking about how I want to do my focus on and finished pieces. We'll go over that when I start showing my stuff. Next up is Spring Sampler. This is a companion piece to the Winter Sampler I just showed you. This is a whip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 2 more. And then I'll start pulling the projects out to show you. Next up is Mr. Cardinal. That is a whip. And oh my God. How did that get back in there? Oh, okay. So Mountain Cabin, I just pulled Mountain Cabin out. I'm like, how'd that get it back in there? I never pulled it because it was a planned start, so I just pulled it out. All right, let's just pull this one out. Mini Tea and Books. This is a whip. Okay, now this can go back in here. And these, so like I said, if I completed the milestones, but they're in multiple categories, they go back in the basket. But after, because of that right there, I literally just pulled out Mountain Cabin when I just worked on it. And I'm like, ugh, I just worked on it. But that's why. I'll be ready to work on it in 2 weeks if I pull it, but not today. All right. This is going to go down here. Now's the fun part. Now you get to watch me struggle with my bins. Let me grab the first bin. I have them all laid out. I think I wore this on the last floss tube I did. I only have a certain amount of clothes I like to wear, y'all. I mean, so you're probably going to see a lot of the same shirts over and over again. But this one says, I'm not responsible for what my face does when you talk. Okay, Bookmark Cups will be the first piece I show you. Where is it? Let's see, bless. So it should be right about here somewhere. There it is. This is a small kit from Bucilla, and this is, it's actually a set of 2. So I'm calling them Bookmark Cups and Bookmark, I think I said Books. Hang on. And which one did I pull? Cups. Okay. It's in the small kits category. Yeah, so I'm calling the other one Books, that has the books on it. This is the cups over here. That's the one I would be starting if I do it. I'm going to do it on the whatever comes in the kit, which gives me the fun task of sorting this floss. But it looks pretty different, so it shouldn't be too bad. But Bookmark Cups is, I have 3 milestones set on it. My first milestone with a goal to finish, and my first milestone is going to be to do the very center, because I'm going to start in the middle, the very center cup, the cup above it, and then back stitch as much as I can where it's, like I won't back stitch like the very bottom, because I don't like back stitching when there's more stitches to put in because it'll mess it up. So I'll like back stitch up to that cup right there, and then up to the cup, like, you know, whatever. So to do those 2 cups and then back stitch them as much as possible. And it comes with 1 piece of fabric, but it's 2 bookmarks, so it'll be perfect. I'll just start in the middle of one of the sides, and I'll just put them on both, and then I'll finish them when I'm done. All right. I'm gonna use this as an example. Okay, colors of Christmas. Oh, you know what? That's not even in that one. Christmas reindeer, Christmas with friends. Where does this stop? I think those are both in the other bin. Yeah, that's it for that one. Okay. Get in there. All right. Ow. I hit my hand. All right. Is this backwards? Son of a mother. Yeah. All right. Next up, Christmas reindeer. This was a kit that I picked up on like Etsy, and Laura from I Stitch Birds helped me out tremendously by pointing out, because everybody was like, where can I get that? Where can I get that? And I was like, well, the Etsy shop that I ordered the kit from, they don't have it anymore. Laura pointed out, thank you, Laura. That's the cross stitch code right there. Like, that's the kit code. And when I Googled it, because it's from a Russian company. I believe it's Russian. When I Googled it, I saw that it's available on Charting Creations. Like, the kit is available on chartingcreations.com. So I'm going to start linking that down below if you're interested in it. But if you go to chartingcreations.com and type in that cross stitch kit, HB-680, this will pop up. So I'm just using whatever comes in the kit. I'm really digging the floss that it comes with. It's like, I think maybe it's like a rayon or something. It's softer. It's not silk, but it's softer than like cotton. I don't know if it's a blend. It's definitely not wool. Might be like a rayon. I don't know, but it's like really soft. I love working with it. It's all folded, so I don't iron, guys. I think I have an iron. I'm not positive. But this is my starting point. And I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this, and I have it into 6 milestones of 1,000 stitches a piece. And hang on one second. Let me just fix this real quick. Hang on. Christmas reindeer. There we go. It's in 2 categories. It's in large kits and it's in Christmas. So my first milestone will be to do 1,000 stitches on it. All right. Let me move this over here. Okay. Christmas with Friends, another new start. This is from Keslin's. And this is in the Christmas category. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I will say this does call for a lot of, it only calls for 3 petite treasure braids. Okay. And a lot of DMC. All right. That'll work. I was thinking that this had a lot more fancy floss than I thought, and so I was kind of concerned about being able to work on it, but no, it'll be fine. Okay, so, but I don't have the petite treasure braid. So right now I have and I'm going to be doing this on a 28 count Lugana in the color Glacier. I don't know who dyed it. I picked it up on 123 Stitch. That's fairly true to color. I feel like someone literally just said this color on their whip parade last night, and I don't remember who it's from, like Picture This Plus or Witch Elt or somebody like that. But this is the color Glacier in a 28 count. I'm going to do it 2/2. And my first goal or milestone, I have a goal to finish it. My first milestone will be to complete the S and the T, because I'm going to start in the middle. So I'm going to complete the S and the T as much as I can, minus the petite treasure braid, because it calls for petite treasure braids number 4, number 9, and number 32, and I don't have those. And I'm not going to have them for a little bit, so yeah. But I'll do what I can, and then I'll just go back in and I'll fill in with the treasure braid. Okay. There's Christmas with Friends. Oh, colors of Christmas. Where is it? Is this it? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is in a Garon totem bag. Got gnomes. I got it as a gift from a subscriber who's destashing a bunch of stuff. Look at the inside fabric. God, I love that. So Colors of Christmas. I do not have the cover page printed out, so let me find it on here real quick. This is from Charting Creations. Artwork is by Marcelo Corti. This is 340 by 475. So let me actually try to do it this way. And this is one of the grayscale pieces with Santa and his item in like color. I have one of these started already and I'm loving how it's looking. So I'm super excited I have one more of these that I didn't get the fabric cut in time for. So that's a next year start or later this year if I feel like it. It's only 161,500 stitches. It's not super big compared to some of my other pieces. I'm going to be doing this on a 30 count China fabric. Now I saw two of you ask for a link to get this fabric or asking about the fabric. Me and Alara call it China fabric because we bought it off of AliExpress. I am not ignoring the two of you that specifically asked for a link. I have not responded to your comment because if I respond, it goes away and then I have to go find it. So I'm leaving your comments there until I can get a link, because I want to say Alara posted a link to the fabric on her site. So I think I'm going to copy and paste to get it over to you guys. But this is just some fabric I bought on AliExpress. I don't want to buy kits or anything off of them because of copyright, because the China companies have no shame in their game and they will readily steal patterns from legit designers. But the fabric, like the raw materials and stuff, it's whatever. And so I measured this out. I think originally it was advertised as like 28 or 30. I think it was originally advertised as 28, but when I measured it out, I was counting out 30. So I'm going to be doing it on a 30 count China fabric. And this is a friction heat erasable pen, I believe it is. I'm putting all my faith and trust in Alara that ink will go away, because she's the one who suggested that to me. She's like, oh, I use it all the time. And I'm like, okay. So Alara, it better work. All right. So colors, hang on, I gotta fix it. I'm trying to like, there we go. Colors of Christmas. This is in 3 categories. Hang on, let me pull up the picture one more time so you can see it. Okay, it's in 3 categories. It is in full coverage, Christmas, and seasonal series. So if I pulled this one out to work on, the first category I will work it for is seasonal series, because there are so many. And I have a goal of getting it to 10%. So, and I'm going to be doing it 1/1 full cross. So I probably will not hit the milestone in these 2 weeks. 1% or 10% is going to be, I can just move the decimal over 1, right? I think it's going to be 16,000 stitches. Really? I got to double check myself now, because that seems like a lot. Hang on, calculator. Again, like I've said before, you would think that I would have just written the stitch count on here instead of just saying, oh, so-and-so percent. All right, so this is 161,500. So I have a goal of 10%, and I have it in 10 milestones of 1% each. So I need to do 1,615 stitches. I need a pen. Pencil will work. I need to do 1,615 stitches to hit the first milestone. Yeah, so I was right. 16,150 stitches to get to 10%. All right. Okay, colors of Christmas. Go in there. Day to night, North America. Did this one? Yes. Day to night, North America. This is a retired chart from Paine Free Crafts. It is no longer available with them. However, you can get, I want to say, this particular one on Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Lars Stewart. It is not called Day to Night North America on Heaven and Earth Designs. It is called something else. And I'm trying to think of what it's called. I will, when I put this in the description box, I will put down who it's by for me. However, I will make a note and provide a link to get it on the Heaven and Earth Designs website, because I cannot remember what Michelle calls it on her site, because it's got a different name. But that's Day to Night North America. This is when Sarah from Paine Free Crafts said that she was retiring Lars Stewart's pieces, I went ahead and he had Day to Night North America, Day to Night Iceland, Day to Night Africa, and Day to Night Tropics. I snagged all 4 of those pieces. So this is in 2 categories. It is in full coverage and it's in seasonal series. Ow. I hit my hand and it hurt. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. And I am currently at, let me show you my starting point. I'm currently at 1,500 stitches completed out of 301,600. I am at 0.5%. I have a goal of getting this to 2%. And I have it divided into 5 milestones, with the first milestone being 1,000 stitches. So there's that. I feel like I did not show you guys everything I worked on. I don't think I did. I didn't. Oh my God. Okay, guys, we got to back up for a minute. Let's go back to the whips, because I just realized I did not show you one more thing, because I didn't finish the goal or the milestone. Wow. I showed you house. I showed you ancestors. Yeah, I missed this one completely. Back up for a second. I got one more new start to show you that I did, but I did not finish the milestone. This is from Charting Creations. I'm looking for it on Pattern Keeper. This is called Beach Getaway. Artwork is, it's an image license with Shutterstock. It is 325 by 490. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I had a goal initially, I have a goal of getting it to 8%. It's a new start. My first milestone, I have 8 milestones of 1% each. My first milestone was 1. And to do that, I needed 1,593 stitches, and I've done 800. I am doing this on a China fabric. This is 1/1 full cross, and it's ended up being 30 count. But that's my 800 stitches so far. I can't believe I forgot to show this to you. And this was the first time I worked, like physically actually stitched on the China fabric, and it really was not that bad. I didn't mind it at all. But this is 1/1 full cross on 30 count. I forgot to show you. So I am currently at 800 stitches done out of 159,250, and I am at 0.5%. So another 800 or so. So I'm just going to go to 1,600. Another 800 stitches, and that'll be done when it gets pulled again. Okay. Back to pulling out of here. I was just sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know what made me suddenly think of Beach Getaway, and I'm like, did I not show that? Okay, next up, we're going into G. That's F. Got that one. Let me see. Okay, next bin. We're done with this one. All right. How do I keep managing to pull out projects? I guess because I pull out 20 of them, pull out projects to where I need to pull out of every single flippin' bin. Okay, next is Grinch, Gnome, and Company. I'll show you the gingerbread smalls that I'm going to do in just a minute. Let me just pull out Grinch, Gnome. Here it is. I'm going to show you the mock-up on Pattern Keeper, but what I may try to do is insert I'm doing this. So editing Jen remembers, hey, you need to do something here. I'm going to insert a screen, like a photo of the actual piece. Here it is. But right now I'm just going to show you. I'll probably just put the thing over what I'm going to show you right here. But this is a mock-up of Grinch, Gnome, and Company. This is from Maya Stitch on Etsy. And I have it in, hang on. I have it in 3 categories. It is in Christmas, it is in Etsy, and it's in gnomes. I am doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white monogo. And this is my starting point. I have the cross stitching of the middle gnome completely done. I have a goal of finishing this piece. My first milestone will be to do all the back stitching on the little guy right there, that middle gnome. So my first milestone will be to back stitch him. Okay, let me go ahead and show you Gingerbread Smalls. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so Gingerbread Smalls will be, let's see, which one is it? The Camper. Actually, I can just show you right here. So it'll be on that same fabric that I just showed you. Oh, you can't see that. The carousel. I just got to block off another square. And it's going to be this one right here. The Camper. And I have a goal of finishing it. My first milestone for it will be 1,000 stitches. And when I work on it, it will go towards the seasonal series category. If I work on it. I'm highlighting on my master spreadsheet. I'm highlighting the ones that I have or that I'm pulling out so that I know where they are. And what I'm doing different this year on my spreadsheet is when I work on this stuff, I'm actually writing down how many stitches I've done over on the other side. Because when I do my whip parade at the end of the year, I can tell you exactly how many stitches each piece got. Okay, let's talk stitching. That's seriously the only one in this bin. No, it's not. Here we go. Let's talk stitching. This is a new start. And it is from Hands On Design. This right here. And I have this in, I want to say seasonal series. One second. Let's talk stitching. Here we go. Yeah, it's only in one category. It's in the seasonal series category. So, but this is why I'm doing stuff in the biggest category first, because a lot of them are in multiple categories, but all my pieces that are like this right here in this series, this is the only one it's in, is in seasonal series. So, and I need to complete 45 milestones before, once I complete this milestone, I have to complete 40, like I need to get to 45 milestones before it comes back into play again. So I want to get those categories knocked down as much as possible. So I have a goal to finish this. And my first milestone will be to complete the words UFO, chart, the floss section right here, and the X's right here. So this, basically this section right here. Yeah. And I'm going to be doing this on a, I want to say this is a 14 count black Aida. It's not that tiny. There we go. There's the whole piece. It's not that small. I'm going to fit it all on this tiny little square. But that'll be my first milestone. I want to say it's a 14 count black Ada. Maybe 16. Actually, no, it's not 14. It's either a 16 or 18. I know it fits, but all the pieces are like this are going on the same fabric. Like separate pieces, but the same. You know what I mean. Anyway, let's talk stitching. Okay. These are all in the next. Yes. Okay. Next bit. Actually, I'm going to put this over here. Okay. Next up, I'm going to show you mini TM books. This is a piece I adopted from my friend Naomi, who had started it and then decided that she did not want to do full coverage projects. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs, artworks by Bridget Ashwood. This is 275 by 275. It has 89 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Stitching Mommy is stitching this as well, but she is opting to not do the background. I am doing the background. I am currently at, between me and Naomi's stitching, I am at 4,540 stitches done out of 75,625. It is at 6%. This one is 2 threads, 10 stitch on, it looks like I want to say a 28 count easy count Lugana. And yeah, she had started in the upper right hand corner. It is very weird for me to stitch like that. So I've been working my way over to the left hand side because I am a stitch from left to right person. So I worked my way over to the left hand side. I think I am almost to the very edge. So I may do that at my next, when I pull this out, I may go ahead and just keep doing that and work to the left corner. I have a goal to get this to 15%. I have it divided into 7 milestones. The first milestone is 1,000 stitches. And because it's 10 stitch, I should be able to get that done in one day. And this is in Mini TM Books. It is in the full coverage category. Okay. Mr. Cardinal. This is a whip. It is from the Cross Stitch Studio. I'm going to show you the pattern because I gotta find this stuff on Pattern Keeper anyway because I did not write any of this information down. Mr. Cardinal from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Dempsey Essick. It is 190 by 317. It has 86 colors. This is what he's going to look like when it's done. I've seen it stitched on Facebook and it is gorgeous. I love cardinals. They're so pretty. I am starting the year off. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. I believe it's 32. That is my starting point. I am at 1,205 stitches completed out of 60,230. I am at exactly 2%. I have this I have a goal of 15%. I have it divided into 7 milestones. The first milestone is 1,000 stitches. Holy shit, it's over 2 hours. It's like turning into a whip parade length. Oh my God. Okay. And I still have so much more to show. Man, starting the year off strong, huh? Okay, Mother Nature Halloween. So again, the Mother Nature series is from Just Cross Stitch Magazine 2023. I screenshot the cover photos and printed them out. This is Mother Nature Halloween. I am excited for this one. She looks so good. Yeah. This is in October of 2023. I have a goal of 5,000 stitches on her, 10 milestones, with the first milestone being 500 stitches. Oh, Mr. Cardinal is in the, hang on. Mr. Cardinal is in the full coverage and the Christmas category. So I believe I'm going to be working on him for full coverage. Yeah, full coverage is what I'll be working on him for. All right, Mother Nature Halloween. She is in seasonal series and fancy like. It's a new start, so I'm going to be doing it on the 28 count T-Dye Monaco 2/2. And like I said, my first milestone will be 500 stitches. And she's in fancy and seasonal series, so she will go into the seasonal series category once that milestone is done. Oopsies. Okay, Halloween. Next up, we're getting into the O's. Put you back here. Next up is another new start. This is from Paine. This is called One More Chapter. It says, just one more chapter and other lies I tell myself. I think I might give this to my sister when I'm done with it. I can't keep everything. And she might like this. I'll have to ask my mom what she thinks. I'm doing this on a printed fabric. It's a 28 count fabric. One side is white, the other side is this color here. I bought it years, like 150 years ago. And I'm gonna do it 2/2. I don't know where it came from. It was like, I do remember it being on sale for a ridiculously low price. So, One More Chapter by Paine. I have a goal to finish this, and my first milestone will be to finish the girl, the lamp, and the mug that's next to her. And there we go. One More Chapter. This is in the seasonal series category because I am counting it as seasonal series because it literally says "and other lies" series, and I actually completed the first one already last year. What was it called? Just one more. Oh God, I can't remember now. But anyway, I finished it last year. Okay. So I'm counting it as a series because I did do one of them already. Okay. Ocean ABC. This is a kit from Design Works. It is a whip. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. When I work on stuff like this, I like to do the entire block from start to finish. So I have 3 blocks completed, A, B, and F. I'm just using whatever comes in the kit. I have a goal of completing 4 blocks. The first block I'm going to do will be block G, which will be right here. It's going to be the goals. That one right there. I can tell you right now that milestone will not be done. Even if I worked on it, it will not be done by the next time you see me, because that is a lot of stitching. And Ocean ABC is in 2 categories. It is in large kits and it's in seasonal series, because I have about 4 or 5 of those ABC kits. Okay, we're getting into the S's, which means that we are done with this bin. Let me do this. Let me grab this. I don't think I need this one, but I might. Actually, no, this one's first, so it's this one I'm not sure if I need. Because I'm down to the fabric bins now. Okay. Stitchers. Paradise. This ended up being a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. Oh, you know what? I don't even need anything out of this one. Do I? This isn't backwards, right? No, I don't think I need anything out of this one. Son of a bitch, yes I do. All right, we're gonna go. Oh my God, that's why. No, I do need stuff out of this one. I'm just gonna leave it down here though. Okay, we're gonna kind of go out of order because I literally just saw one of the ones that I pulled out. We're gonna do Summertime first. Summertime from Stitch Rovia. I got this on Etsy. View mock-up. This is what it's going to look like when it is done. It's really fun to stitch on. I was enjoying it quite a lot last year when I was stitching on it. I am currently at 2,851 stitches completed. I got to look at the PDF and just double check and make sure there's no back stitching in it, but I don't believe there is. But I'm at 2,851 stitches done out of 9,416. I am at 30.28%. I'm doing this 2 threads full cross on, I think this is like a 16 count opalescent white Aida. And I have a goal to finish this. My first milestone, I have 7 milestones. The first milestone is going to be to get it to 40%, which will be like 940 stitches, thereabouts. So there's that. I feel like I should probably wait to show you the stuff that I got until my next video, because I did a lot of talking at the beginning of this video, and this is turning out to be way longer than I was expecting it to be. I don't want to do like, you know, fucking 4-hour videos every single week. And Summertime. One second. Where is it? Summertime. Here it is. Summertime is in the Etsy category. Okay, next up is Spring Sampler. I wasn't talking to you. Spring Sampler from Cooler Design Studio. Artwork is by Sandy Orton. I'm doing this 2 threads, 2/2 full cross on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. This is my starting point for the year. Lighting is not great today. Still, I have a goal of 5,000 stitches on this with the first, with 10 milestones. The first milestone is 500 stitches. And this is in Spring Sampler. This is in 2 categories. This is in Seasonal Series and it's in Sampler-esque. I think because I had so many whips to show you guys this time, I think that's why this is so long. All right, next. Oh wait, no, it's down here. We're still down here. The next one I'm going to show you is from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is Springtime Splendor. Artwork is by Randall Spangler. Just got to find it. It is, I got the max color version. It is 450 by 758. It has 236 colors. That is what it will look like when it's done. This is going to take forever to upload. I can tell you right now. I currently have 13,618 stitches done out of 340,805. I am at 4% exactly. My goal, I'm doing this 2 threads, tent stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. That is my starting point for the year. My goal is to get it to 6%. So I've divided into 7 milestones, with the first milestone being 1,000 stitches. And again, it's tent stitch, so I could probably get through that pretty quickly. I'm debating on coming over here and getting these parked threads worked in, or I might do that at a later date. I don't know. So there's my starting point for that. All right. Next up is another new start. This is from the Cricut collection. This is summer. I'm doing that because I just realized what fabric I'm stitching this on and I'm super excited. This is summer from the Cricut collection. I am super excited because I am doing this on a 28 count Lugana in the color Mystic. I think it's called Mystic. That's what it says on here. But look at this deep blue that it is. It's going to look so good because I've seen it stitched on a really dark blue and it looks really, really good. So I'm excited. But like I said, it'll be a new start. I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this. My first milestone will be to do 1,000 stitches. Oh, back up. Springtime Splendor is in the full coverage category. Okay, Summer from Cricut collection is in the seasonal series category. So I have I'll be doing it 2 over 2 and my first milestone will be 1,000 stitches on it. I will likely start in, I think what I'll do, I was trying to figure out if I was going to start in the middle or if I was going to do a left-hand start. I think I might start in the middle, because it's not like, there's not a definitive corner and I want to make sure I start in the right place. As everybody knows, nothing is worse than thinking that you're good and then you get to a point and you're like, oh my God, I started in the wrong spot. Now I don't have enough fabric. Okay, one more S. Stitcher's Paradise should be in here. Yep. Oh, it is what I thought. Yay! Yantina, I believe you're the one doing this right now too. I think. I've been watching so many whip parades. I can't keep everybody straight now on who's doing what. This is from the World of Cross Stitching this year's Stitch Along. And this is done by Doreen Jones. They did go ahead and show you what the whole thing is going to look like. And yes, it is Yantina. I finally pulled it. She was, I remember commenting and be like, oh my God, I'm going to start that next year. And she responded back. She's like, oh, when are you going to do it? And I was like, I don't know. It depends on when I pull it. I hope it's soon. That was like 4 days ago. So I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this. I didn't do it in parts because I wasn't sure when I was going to pull it because they're releasing a block a month. So I'm going to be starting in the upper left-hand corner, and I have 12 milestones, with the first milestone being 500 stitches, and I will be doing it in that block right there with the border. There's a border up here that got cut off. And I'm going to be doing this 2 over 2 on a 28 count white opalescent even weave Lugana. It's hard to see the sparkle, but oh, there you go. You can kind of see it now. I'm excited. Her piece is looking so cute. I'm going to link her channel down below so you can go check it out. She just showed it in her, I want to say, her most recent video. Okay. Toy shop. This will be a new start. I'll be doing it. I don't even need, well, actually I need the card. I was like, I don't even need to open the bag. No, I do. Toy shop. This is one of the retired pieces from Paine Crafts. Artwork by Steve Crisp. Toy shop. This is 600 by 450. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of getting this to 5%. So I have it in 10 milestones. My first milestone is 0.5%. And again, I'm doing it on that 30 count China fabric. So this is 270,000 stitches exactly. Let me get my calculator out. 270 times 0.5%. Oh, it's only 1350. So I just need to do 1,350 stitches to get that goal done. That's not too bad. But I'm going to be doing 1 over 1 full cross. So I'm not sure if that's going to be done by the time you see me again. Because I like to switch projects. So the ones that are full cross that are over 1,000 stitches might not be 100% completed for that milestone. But they'll just go back in the basket. Okay, the last one I'm going to show you is Unicorn. As soon as I find it. That's W-T-U-V, so it should be right here. This is going to be my first Teresa Winsler. I'm going to be doing 2 of them this year. Maybe more. This is... So it's 2 small pieces, Peacock and Unicorn. This one is the Unicorn. I do have both of them on my to be started list. I have a goal of 3,000 stitches. My first milestone will be 500 stitches. And I did not even talk about Stitcher's Paradise is in 2 categories. It's in Sal and it's in Fancy Like. Because it looks fancy. I think it looks fancy. Okay, Unicorn. Is in the Fancy Like category. And I'm going to be doing this on an old piece of fabric I have. A 28 count fabric from, I think, Witch Out in the color Summer Sky. Like a Jobelin or something. I don't know. I don't remember what the package said. I already got rid of it. I know it's Summer Sky, but it's 28 count. I'm going to be doing it 2 over 2. I wanted to do it on something that wasn't white because this, it's not a full coverage. So I wanted something, I don't even think you stitch everything in the water. Let me double check. Yeah, you don't even stitch all the water. So I figured this would be really good to be as background for both. Did it get brighter in here? Background is both the sky and the water. And there is a lot of blends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 blends, y'all. These blends are no joke. So I'm gonna be doing it 2 over 2. Full cross, half cross, whatever it calls for. Because it has both, full cross and half cross. Okay. That is all my pieces. And highlight that one. Toy Shop is in 2 categories. I didn't tell you that. Toy Shop is in 2 categories. It's in full coverage and it's in seasonal series. Oh, I got to put this card back in. 500 stitches on that to get that mouse done. Okay. That will be all the pieces I am working on. I'm debating on showing you all my stuff. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a few things, and then I'll save the rest for the next time. I'm going to show you a few things because hashtag fake plans are back. I'm adding to my list. I can't help it. I can't help it. So what got me adding to the list, besides the hate Sal, was the fact that there is, I completely forgot. I don't have a picture to show you because I don't, I'll show those at another time because I'm not starting those right now. Yeah, I'll show those later. I don't have a picture to show you because it's a mystery sale, but Cross Stitch for Everyone is doing an Out of the Savannah sale. And I completely forgot that I had signed up for it. Totally forgot. So the first part's been released. It's a lot of background right now. And I don't want to do the background because it's just white. But I'm going to be doing it on a 20 count Aida from Mystic Fabrics. This was her fabric of the month for April of 2023. And this is in the color Biscuit. And I thought that this would be a really good kind of Savannah wild animal background color for it. So I'm going to be drawing it out as I do all of my other stuff. So I'm not going to stress about keeping up with it because right now it's literally like a lot of the white and then the top of a tree right now. So I'm going to just include that with my regular draws. So let me set that aside because I got to put that in the bag. But I don't have a photo to show you because it's, I think it's a mystery sale. Unless the cover photo for the group is the picture that we're stitching. I have no clue. I'll have to ask somebody if they know. I think it's a mystery sale though. Okay. The other thing is I was feeling the FOMO. I'm going to link the Facebook group along with the patterns down below, but there is a group called Dee Dee's Reading, Crafting, something group, and they're doing an event this year of the Quaker Tiles flags from Vivsters. And you can stitch, she has a lot of flags. She is still putting out more flags. I can't start these yet because I don't have the fabric, but it's going to be on its way probably tomorrow. But they're doing a sale of the Quaker Tile flags from Vivsters. So I'm actually going to do 2 flags. I'm going to do the USA. I'm going to do the extended one because she does have one that is that big. But I'm going to do, of course, I want to torture myself and make it that big. So I'm going to be doing this one. I'm also going to be doing this one from Norway because I am 50% Norwegian. My dad's entire side of the family is from Norway. Like my grandfather, maybe my grandmother too, separate families, of course. I know for sure that my grandfather on my dad's side was the first one in the family to be born in America. Everybody else was born in Norway. I want to say they were from a small town just outside Oslo or from Oslo. I can't remember. But my mom looked all this stuff up on Ancestry, so that's how I know all that. But both my grandmother and my grandfather are from Norwegian, 100% Norwegian heritage. I have a lot of family up in Minnesota, like the Duluth area. And so I thought it would be fun to do the Norway flag. And the next one I'm going to show you, because I was buying those flags and I was really digging the Quaker tiles that she had. I wanted to do Quaker tiles on black, and I have a piece of fabric on its way to me. I'm going to be doing this on a 28 count. Oh, the flags I'm going to do in the, I'm going to do it on a vintage 36 count Edinburgh linen. I know, I hate linen, but I was trying to not make them like any bigger than they had to be. So I think they're going to fit on, I think they're fat quarters, 36 count Edinburgh linen over 2. Yeah, because I'm going to do it 2 over 2. Yeah. So I'm waiting, and it's going to be in vintage country mocha because I needed something for the white, because I didn't want to do it on white because it's just not going to show up. So vintage country mocha will be for both of them. So Quaker tiles on black. I'm going to do this on a 28 count black Jobelin over 2 over 2. And I chose this one. She has a lot of different color schemes. It's the same stuff, but different color schemes on her site. So I got that fabric on its way. Once the fabric shows up, these will be getting added to the list. I told you, fake plans are back, man. The other thing, so the Savannah style, as soon as I get the, a bag for it, and get my stuff worked out on it, like milestones and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and add that into the basket. And then this is the other one I'm gonna add into the basket once I get it all worked out with the milestones and stuff. I gotta get it into Pattern Keeper. This is another chart by Visters, and this is Moroccan Lanterns. I've seen this, someone just posted a picture of 40% completed on this, and it looks so good. And I was like, I completely forgot that I had it, and I'd already bought it. It's just been sitting on my computer waiting for me to start it. So I picked up a piece of fabric from Live and Die LA. This is a 32 count Lugana in the color Chalkboard. I'm just going to show you part of I'll show you the whole thing. I'm going to do it on this. It's going to look so freaking amazing. I am so excited. This will get added into the mix as well. I told you fake plans are back. So I got to get a bag for that and work out milestones and everything for that one. Oh, screw it. Let me just show you, because I need stuff out of this box. I am going to move through it a little bit quickly. So if there's anything specific that you wanted me to show again in the next video, please mention it and I will make sure to show it better in the next video. But I need stuff out of the box, but I wanted to keep everything in the box so that I could show you all at once. Okay. My mother every year gets a box from Missouri Star Quilt Company, and it's a quilting advent box. And every year I look through it. I'm not a quilter, but she is, and I am always jealous. I am jelly of her box. I'm like, and I mentioned to her last year, I'm like, man, someone should do this with like cross stitching supplies. And she was like, oh, you should do that. I said, I don't have the money to get that off the ground. Like, because I'd have to buy all this stuff to put in the boxes. And then I'd have to make it so that it's a deal, but I still make money, which means that you got to buy stuff at wholesale. Like, anyway. But I'm always looking at her box that she gets every year. Well, apparently she decided that she would save her box from last year. Now, this is not personalized. I know it says Jenny's and my name is Jen. Jenny's Countdown Christmas from 2022. This was her quilting box from 2022. It is not personalized. The person who created this, her name is Jenny. My mom's name is Murtis. Like, this was not, they didn't make this for each individual person. But when I opened this, I'm like, oh, like, because I know she loves to save boxes and whatnot. So I thought she had just, like, put something in the box because she had saved the box. Because I knew it wasn't quilting supplies because she, like, I'm not a quilter. But she remembered, hang on, bear with me for 1 second. I got to put this down here. Okay, sorry. She made me a cross-stitch advent box. So there was 25 individual presents in here for me to unwrap, and I was so excited because I love unwrapping stuff. And then she had tags on some of it, so I saved the tags because I wanted to show you. And she had the tags outside of the wrapper. So this one says handmade, which means no returns, Merry Christmas. And it was like a design board. I could have used this earlier when I'm like holding the projects up and trying to hold the bags behind them. I'm going to start using it now. But it's because I'm not a designer, so it's to show my stuff. I could have used this earlier. I should have shown you first. Okay. So, got that. And then I got a needle box to hold needles in. Super cute. Yes, I'm going to show you every little thing. Oh, I think it came, I think that the needle box, I believe, came in this cute little bag here. And then I also got in this little bag here, she put a needle threader. And I did pull one thing out because I really needed it. There's 3 project bags in there. The pink one, there's a medium-sized one that's pink that I'm using for the Haid Sow. I was like, I need a bag. So I just went ahead and pulled it out. But 3 project bags. And then this one had the tag, ho, 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 will you like it? I don't know. And I open it up. And I'm like, oh, it's a notebook. I'm thinking it's a planner. No, it's freaking graph paper to design my shit. If I wanted to design some, like if I wanted to sketch something out, it's cross-stitch graphing paper. How cool is that? And then this one said, imagine the most amazing, super best gift you could ever think of. This is not it. And it's a thread bed. Mom, did you make this? Or did you buy it? She might have bought it. I don't remember. She makes stuff too, so I can never keep straight what she makes and what she buys. Thread bed. Next up, this tag said probably a regift. Said probably a regift, and it was because I remembered it from her quilting box. And it's a little storage thing, like a pencil box. And I'm not going to show, well, I might end up just showing you all of them. Little stickers from Primrose Cottage Stitches. Says running on hot cocoa and cross stitch. This one is Christmas Trees and Stitching Please. And then this one is Sip, Stitch, and Repeat. And these are all from Promo's Cottage. And then I got some bobbins, because I'm a bobbinator. Ah! And this one is this tag. Not all of them had tags on them. This tag said, remember, it's the thought that counts. Hang on, I gotta move these stickers out of the way. Just put those right there. And oh my God, now I got stuff all over my board thing. What do I do? Let me do this. Let me just put this right here. This place is a mess anyway. I'll clean this up when I'm done. Actually, you can probably see it better on this side, I think. It's a little bag and it says Notions with a gnome. How cute is that? It's a Notions bag. How cute is that, huh? Okay. And then in this bag, I got some needles. And in another bag, I got those magnetic holders to hold the excess fabric on the huge projects. That'll come in handy for me. And then this tag said Santa said I could take credit for this one. More project bags, the Amazon project bags, more project bags. Thank God, because I'm adding to my freaking list. I originally was going to transfer projects from the Ziploc bags to these bags, but now that I'm adding to the list, I gotta use them for those first. Next up, in this bag, I got some needle minders. Actually, hang on, I gotta open this real quick because there's 4 of them in here. But these 2 are stuck together. There we go. It says Find Beauty. And then an envelope with some flowers in it. Okay. Sorry for the crinkling. Okay. And then I got a roll of fabric in the blue, like the blue oceany, blue-green color. And in this bag, I got some highlighter tape. I'm going to test it on some of my paper patterns to see if if it's going to rip it. We'll see. And then in this little bag right here, I got some more needle minders. Y'all, look at these. It's a panda, a pig, and a cat. Look at that. Look at the buttholes. Oh, man. And then the next thing is a storage container. I got to get my stuff, or y'all are like, oh my God, you're so organized. I'm really not. It's a front. I got to get my stuff organized. So a storage container that I can put my shit in. And this tag said, well, it's probably better than coal. And it was a piece of fabric. This is a 18 count white Aida. I'm saving one of the best things for last. Next up, I really needed this the other day. I'm like, dang it, I need to film. This is a stand to hold either your book or your paper. I could have been using this the other day when I was working on paper patterns. And it folds flat for easy storage. What else? And then I got a corner guide, which is going to come in super handy for when I'm trying to find the margins for my new starts. So I'm super stoked about that. What else is in here? Okay. This one, this tag said spoiler alert. This is awesome. She got me 2 patterns from Primrose Cottage. This one is Warm Winter Wishes. This is by Lindsay Waite. And then the other one is Sip, Stitch, and Repeat. That one right there. I might have scrap fabric that I could put these on. They might get added to the list. Screw it. If I want to add to my list, I'm just going to add to my list at this point. Who cares anymore, right? I mean, once you hit at this stage of the game, I got one more thing to show you. Once you hit this stage of the game, when you're over 300 projects, who cares if you're adding? Well, I mean, what difference does it make at this point, right? And then this one, she did not, says may or may not have found this on clearance. This is probably one of my favorite things. It's a tumbler. It's not a Stanley tumbler. It's from Primrose Cottage, and it says Sip, Stitch, and Repeat. Isn't that adorbs? I was showing pictures of my stuff because I took pictures of it and I sent it to like Alara and one of my stitching groups for my games. But I was showing my coworkers at work, and one of my coworkers, he was like, why do you not have that with you already? Why didn't you wash it? And I'm like, he doesn't know I have a channel, so I didn't want to tell him I was like saving it to show him my channel. But now that I've opened the box, I can actually start using this stuff. I've been waiting for 2 weeks to show you guys, but that's just so, I love it. So I got to wash it so I can use it. Okay. So like I said, I do have some other stuff that I need to show you, but I will just wait because I'm not going to, it's like some kits that I had gotten off of a de-stash group on Facebook, but I'm not worried about starting those right now. That like, I don't have an urge to start them. So I'm just going to wait, and I'll show you at the next one because we're almost 3 hours. Starting off strong in 2024 with a 2 hour and 45-minute floss tube, just to begin with. We'll see if hopefully they won't all be like this. It depends on how many projects I work on, to be honest. And the next video, I'm not going to be talking nearly as much at the beginning, I don't think. Oh, so one more thing I did want to mention, if you're still here, is the focus on a finish. I'm debating on using projects because not all of my whips that are set to be finished, not all of them are at a really decent finishing point. So I'm almost debating on some of these projects, and I was going to use the bookmarks as an example, as becoming a focus on a finish regardless of if I pulled them or not. Because like the books bookmark right there, it doesn't look like it's a whole lot of stitching. The teacups, maybe, but the books one doesn't look like it's a whole lot of stitching. I have another bookmark that I could probably do as a focus on a finish. I'm going to see how I do with the cups bookmark and see how much stitching it really is. But I might start just keeping stuff like that out regardless of if I pulled it or not to be a focus on a finish, just to see how many I could do. We'll see. It's all up in the air right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. Don't get confused. Don't get concerned. I'm not concerned about what I will or won't get done. Don't stress about it. I'm completely changing up what I did from last year. The only thing I'm taking into this year is the fact that I have that I have goals set for all my projects. That's the only thing I'm taking into this year. It's like all up in the air again, obviously, because I'm adding to my list, even though I said I wasn't going to add to the list, which means when I add to the list, that means that these numbers are going to change as well regarding the milestones and how many are in each category because of the new projects being added. So this is ridiculous. I hope next time isn't as long. I know some of you love it, but some of you are like, God, that's a lot. Anyway, let's see how much shit I can get done in the next 2 weeks, right? Okay. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. If you are still here, thank you so much for continuing to watch. If you're not already subscribed and you're still watching me, I don't know why you're not subscribed. You need to go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified whenever I post a video. I was going to try to do a Stitch with me to air like tomorrow, to air next weekend. It depends on, honestly, it depends because I'm going to get my kids tonight. They're usually with their dad this weekend, but he's got some event he's going to. So I told him I would take the boys for the night. So they're going to be dropped off here in probably about 3.5 hours. And I don't know, I might wake up early and take their asses back over to their dad instead of waiting on his butt to come around and pick them up. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a Stitch with me done. We'll see. I might be able to do a Stitch with me. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I will find something to talk about though. Anyway, if I can, you may see a Stitch with me next weekend. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section down below. Again, please don't stress about me getting my goals done. I am not intending in any way, shape, or form to have all these goals done by the end of this year. Those goals are only to give me the opportunity to work on these projects throughout the year more than one time. I'm going to take, so like I said, I took stuff from last year, which was the goal setting and the baskets and the boards. I'm taking that into this year. The time frame of wanting to have it done by the end of the year, I'm leaving that out the window. We're not going to worry about that. Because I'm going to see what all I was able to accomplish this year. The end goal of this stuff, if I hit the end goal, it needs to go away. Like on Unicorn. My goal is to hit 3,000 stitches on it. If I hit the 3,000 before the end of the year, then yeah, it needs to go away so I can work on other projects. That's what the goal is for. The milestones are so I gave myself a stopping point so I don't get sick of the project or overwhelmed by it. So at the end of the year, at the end of this year, I'm going to see what worked and what didn't, and we're going to revamp for 2025. And go from there. So don't worry about me hitting all the goals. It's not going to happen. It's literally impossible. We're just going, you know what you're going to be a cheerleader for? You're going to be a cheerleader for me hitting milestones. We're going to see how many milestones I can actually hit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to cheer on every milestone, and we're going to cheer on to see how many finishes I can complete. I want to say, how many pieces did I finish last year? 15? I know I said I wanted to complete 135 pieces, but it's impossible. I'm going to say, let's see if I can finish 20. How about that? We'll see if we can finish 20 pieces this year. Okay. That's all I got to say. I had so much to talk about. I got a lot of shit to clean up, and I need to eat. So, take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.